Hey there, Adrienne Elise here. Welcome to the SuperNova Astrology update for August 14th through 21st, 2023. Well, today is a powerful day with the Sun and Venus coming together. The Sun in Leo and Venus retrograde. Venus retrograde, retrograding back. We've had an intense last week or so with Venus having her second conjunction with Black Moon Lilith, coming up to Black Moon Lilith retrograde for the second time. The first time they came together was when she was direct, and that was on the 8th and 9th, and then on the 10th, Venus came into square with Uranus for the second time. Now the Sun and Venus are meeting up, and the Sun will go on to square Uranus and conjunct Black Moon Lilith. Also, the Sun and Venus are both having a trine with Chiron in Aries, bringing us an activating fire trine, a harmonizing fire trine. So let's explore and unpack these energies. Wow, because our feminine is in quite a journey. Venus retrograde always brings up our deepest insecurities and vulnerabilities. In this case, in Leo, it's about our expression, shining our light, our creative expression, sharing with the world who we really are, supernova souls. It's like we've been cloaked, just like the technology and the truth. We have also been. We are the technology and the truth. And everything the astrology right now is saying that, of course, we know we have to have a massive disclosure. We've got to clean it up. We've got to face the truth. We've got to have the deeper truth of our history and technology must be revealed. Of course, there's all kinds of other darker truths of control mechanisms that have been used against humanity, but we, the people, can never stand up and take our power back until we have those truths. So we are in this place of disclosure, and that's exactly what the astrology is talking about. And the astrology is saying to supernova souls, there's nothing more to wait for your technology disclosure. You can breathe into it right here, right now. We are examining with Pluto in Capricorn at the end degrees of Capricorn, in square to the nodes of the moon. Pluto in Capricorn is about structures. Pluto is our power and our fear of our own power. So in Capricorn, especially at the very end of Capricorn, Capricorn is authoritarian structures. So it's authoritarian structures where we've given our power away because we were scared of it. And now we must take it back. We are being pushed into that corner. This Pluto square the nodes is that corner. There's so much incredible and powerful dynamic astrology happening right now. So the backdrop of the whole thing is this Pluto square the nodes, that we have got to get out of the systems of control, external control. So in order to do that, we have to look at how did we get into these systems of external control. And we talked about how there was quite an agenda to disconnect us from the earth and our connection by systematically eradicating indigenous tribes and their shamanic connection to the earth. And there also needed to be, okay, so in external power structures, the paradigm of that is all about rewards and punishments. Okay, this is our false god. This is our patriarchal religious structure that has kept us in captivity, been a part of keeping us in captivity. You cannot get stuck in a system, in a construct of external authority and rewards and punishments if you don't feel or have a programming of a subconscious shame around these things. Okay. This is what we're coming to find. This is our feminine. There's this deep subconscious shame that we've done something wrong. We need to make it up to God. Right? It's like, oh, she is God. Oh, whoops. We got to rearrange our whole paradigm here, right? Because it's time to take back the garden. So the patriarchal authority has no power, actually. And but the only thing holding it in place, us holding ourselves back, allowing ourselves to be manipulated and deceived and controlled. I mean, we have been so messed with supernova souls. But the only thing that is allowing those structures to remain in place is this shame. We don't even know we have, right? Like, what part of ourselves, deep in our consciousness, continues to want to prove ourselves to God? You know, God was stolen, the goddess stolen by God, manipulated and controlled. The whole thing. And Venus, oh, she's going into it, man. She's going in to face the truth. And so Venus is retrograde in Leo, and the sun catching up right now, today, the illumination of the feminine, the truth of the goddess. She's going down into the catacombs and into the scariest dark corners that have kept her enslaved, right? This low self-worth, this shame. She's shining a light on them. And what's being found with this masculine inception of light into those darkest corners, she's like, oh, it's not so scary under there. That's actually the power of the universe. And it's beautiful and it's whole. And as long as we're in alignment, we could take this power back and take our world back and take the garden back. No more defilement, no more corruption. Yeshua, Jesus, the story showed us, the book says that he went into the temple where there was the defilement and the corruption, and he turned the tables. Okay. Now we have been shown that we are the temple, our body. And this is so powerful because the message is coming through around the power of our electromagnetic field being the key to releasing us from this prison. That when you know and understand the power of your electromagnetic field, that revokes consent for your electromagnetic field to be used as a technological device for these technologies that are not disclosed to us. It is such a violation. And now we know also that the earth is our body. So how do we take back our earth? We take back our body. Well, how do we take back our body? We take back our body through this knowing of the power of our electromagnetic field, which is exactly everything we're talking about. This fear of our own power, technology, and the history that has been hidden from us is all this same technology, free energy, feminine form of electricity. And it's available right here in our own bodies. They've even said that 6G is about using our electromagnetic field to transmit their data. So you don't think that's already happening? And so this is this takeover of our temple on a cellular level. And this is where we fight for life. Now, with Mercury and Mars and Virgo, the message is we got to clean it up, right? Whatever mess we find down there in the corner, we need to clean it up, because it's like, so we found that there's the core power. And that's all that she was really scared of. And that's all that the shame was really about. And it's so beautiful. And we know we can use it in alignment. And yet it's hidden in cobwebs and stories and distortions, where it was called evil, wrong, and bad, where we were told that we misused this power. And in effect, we did not misuse this power. That's the biggest lie. This is the biggest lie that's keeping down supernova souls, incredibly powerful souls incarnating. You guys, we've incarnated at this certain time to be here for this, to rewrite this story. And so everything is about this. And let's just look at this astrology, because what we're coming into on the 16th, but early in the morning on the 16th in Western US. So it's really the night of the 15th and early morning in the 16th. So mostly the 16th and most of the world, this new moon, Leo new moon, now the sun and the moon. So Venus just went through her square Black Moon Lilith, deep into the catacombs, deep into all of the energies of Uranus, square Uranus. Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius, representing this technology, this awareness of our higher power. And yet in Taurus, it's like, do you deserve it? You deserve to embody your higher frequency vibrations. And that's what's hidden down in the catacombs that the feminine is going to face. So she's done this journey, and then after those, we were still feeling the effect of that Venus, and the sun was in trine to Chiron. Now the sun is still into trine to Chiron, meeting up with Venus, and Venus will be coming then into trine to Chiron in these or as the sun goes into the square with Black Moon Lilith, conjunction with Uranus, conjunction with Black Moon Lilith, square Uranus, Venus will go on to trine Chiron. So it's like all of the transits that are happening for the Venus retrograde are happening all at once with the sun and a new moon. So the moon is involved. Okay. So when the sun and the moon come together, they come together at 23 degrees, 17 minutes of Leo. And this puts them smack dab in the middle of that square with Uranus at 22 degrees Taurus, conjunction with Black Moon Lilith at 24 degrees Leo. So the sun and the moon coming together, I mean, this is like a grand council. Venus just got illuminated by the sun, went into these crazy squares. She's going deeper into her retrograde, but in trine, exact trine with Chiron at 19 degrees. It's so dynamic. It's so perfect. When Mercury and Mars are saying this in Virgo, claim back the perfection that we are. Clean this up. We are perfect. We came here to be perfect, to express the perfection. And then we gave that away in shame, allowing our world and our body, our mother, to be defiled. No more. We will not. We will not make it through this astrology without some massive, massive adjustments. And so this Leo new moon, the energy around it is like, could there not be a better time for you, a supernova soul, to fully land home as who you are? The sun, incarnating your light body, incarnating your Christ consciousness, incarnating your bigger self, which is also Christ consciousness. And we've been talking about this, like this message for years, that there's a way bigger story for supernova souls. There's a way bigger part of you that couldn't fully incarnate. And you know what? It has a lot to do with who you were that they don't want you to know. Because if we knew who we were in our last two incarnations, this last reset could have never have happened. We are giants. We are sleeping giants with so much available to us. And yet we haven't been able to embody this. And we sit here twiddling our thumbs, knowing this bigness within us, this love. And then what have we had? We've had all this relationships surrounding us, karmic relationships where we've had to be like boundary, 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 boundary. Can't just give it all away all the time, because then you're a doormat, and then you're playing host to the dark side, and then you're just a part of the game. And so we've had to boundary up. And it's just so painful because we know the power of the force of what we're really talking about. Well, this creative power is love. And we are love. And all we want to do is give love. Really, all you have when you leave this place is the love you gave. And here we are restricted because the systems have been stolen from us that can support our giving out our healing and love to the world. And this is where we have to be defiant and deliberate and determined in accessing that creation energy. So we give love to God, the universe, to mother as we interact, as we share our creative forces with the universe's creative forces. So this is creative activities. This is the energy of the goddess activation course coming up starting on the 17th. I hope you'll consider being a part of that, bringing this goddess energy into your life. This is this creation life force that is available in our very own bodies that we have been told doesn't exist, right? Like that power. And so we have blocks and programming that keep us from accessing this. And then, of course, we need to learn how to contain it so that we can turn it up. And the power back to this connection, this garden, this place is through the co creation principle, through accessing creation energy. And the best way to do it, if you haven't had access to it, is through creative pursuits. And this is the new renaissance that's coming. And so this is everything. That's creativity. Is the Leo rules creativity, and also our joy, natural joy, something, whoa, we have been so cut off from through this technological infiltration on a cellular level, and we are taking that back. The way we take it back is through this co-creation process, and also through knowing the power of our electromagnetic field. And if we do have this powerful electromagnetic field that can protect us from everything, all of that, all those G's and all that stuff out there, um, our power and our electromagnetic field is much more, and really only turned on fully and completely when there's two or more of us. And now we've been getting lots of stories that there will be a time at the right time when we come together. And I have to say that the message is that there is really no time like the present. There is no time but the present. The time is now. You must take charge over your destiny, your electromagnetic field, and your existence. That's how you take back your power. We have this incredible higher power available to us. But what's happened is that when we got lost in these patriarchal stories of false God and false control, rewards and punishments, we lost touch, of course, with this power within us. And as we go to try to take back this God power we know we have within us, we know that we have to stop listening to guidance in the way that we listened to guidance before, because the guidance wasn't maybe in our best interests, right? What's coming forward is this, this video game of ascension that we've been talking about. It's like there's these multiple levels of authority. And so as soon as you break through one, you got to go get to the next one, almost like the 7 levels, right? The 7 chakras. And so where we have thought was guidance would have been misguiding us through these channels of control in the lower energy power structures. And so we've had to say, I want all of my information and guidance to come through my higher self, right? But something's happened there, like as we go to take back our power from the false power and from the gifts and punishments, then we stop asking for help, right? And we have to understand that this is part of the co-creative process. It's like when you're in that creation energy, when you're working on a project, and you totally lose yourself in it. That's this energy of co-creation. But in that co-creation, there's a reciprocal process going on, right? Of asking and receiving, of taking a step, letting the universe respond, allowing the forces to work through your art and your creation. And so we have to, as we heal this false God control energy, we have to come back into this reciprocal relationship with our higher self. And you, right now, is a perfect time for supernova souls to come together and join their energy field. So why not ask for that highest vibrational, most resonant soul that's closest in your area to cross your path for a moment? Like the ley lines crossing for a moment. It could be, or maybe it could be an ongoing working relationship on any level, right? But that meeting, it's what we need. And so we must decide whether or not in our own being we can handle our own power and the power of our electromagnetic field with another supernova soul. And we have to decide and take back our authority and our sovereignty and say, now is the time to do the work I came here to do. That requires other supernova souls, and they will cross my path now. And begin working with this energy that wants to descend in you, that is you. It is you, this bigger, higher self. This, we don't know what it is. We've never gotten a clear picture, but it's landing. And this Leo new moon has this energy of like pulling in this truth of who we are. So I hope you'll consider joining that Leo new moon activation. That's going to be on Tuesday, August 15th at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. And catch the replay if you don't get this message and you feel called to this power, this moment, this awakening of the goddess, the garden in our own heart and soul as we land home as who we really are here. Take back our body, take back our world. Very exciting time. So I hope you'll consider joining that Leo new moon activation. And then again on Thursday this week, the 17th, goddess activation, 8-week, 8-pillar series, building a temple for the goddess energy in your life. I hope you'll consider joining me for that journey as well. So let's just talk through the shapes and sizes and amazing dynamic astrology that's happening, because as the backdrop, we've got Pluto square the nodes. They're not exact. They're 1 degree out now, but still so close. And of the nodes of the moon, north node Aries, south node Libra. Our power versus our relationships, our personal power, our personal ability, our personal sovereignty versus relationships, everything we've been talking about. In T square with Pluto, it's saying, yeah. So it is through our personal relationships that we are given the opportunity to break authoritarian contracts where we've given our power over in past lives. Whew, so Pluto square the nodes, there's also this turning the wheel of time, like it can't stay stuck any longer. We've got to turn this, and we're coming up against whatever's keeping us from moving over into our evolution. And of course, we know this is disclosure. And so Venus retrograde is this disclosure of the true light of the feminine, going back into Leo, going back to the darkest, deepest places, Black Moon Lilith. This is the secrets of the feminine power, of the creation energy, and available in all of us. But the female body had to be suppressed and repressed because they have direct access to this miracle energy right in their very own body. And so Venus is heading back. She thought she was all alone, and it's like her torch is going out, and then the sun shows up and shines the light through right at that perfect moment today into the catacombs of her heart to awaken her again to the love that she is. And so square Black Moon Lilith, finding that permission and that self-confidence to embody this higher frequency vibration, the truth of who we are. And then the Leo new moon, and highlighting all of this. So all of the transits of the Venus retrograde for the Leo new moon, pulling us into that darkest place that is unresolved, healing the defilement and the distortions in our very own field, in our own body, taking back our earth through fully inhabiting in our physical human body. And then the sun goes on to make these transits over the next few days after the new moon on the 17th, making that square with Uranus exact, on the 18th, making that conjunction with Black Moon Lilith. And that's really, really powerful energy. Sun, Black Moon Lilith, Venus, trine, Chiron. And now we have to look a little bit ahead though, because what's happening is that the sun, as the sun comes to the end degrees of Leo, will be making that inconjunct relationship to Neptune in Pisces and Pluto in Capricorn that Venus made when she turned retrograde. So that happens on the 21st and the 22nd. And so next week, we're going to be moving into this energy. And this weekend and the beginning of next week, moving into this energy. And so the last time this yod was formed between the sextile of Pluto and Capricorn, Neptune and Pisces, sextile, sweet relationship of harmonized creative solutions, working together as a team, collaboration. It's that beautiful 60-degree energy. And then right across the way in the middle was Venus, and that was this yod. And Venus making the yod, point of destiny, was at the feminine. And we know this. We know until the feminine gets cleaned up, we can't move forward until she gets whole and complete, until the shame is healed and transformed. We can't move forward. The feminine is our destiny, but now the sun is coming to this place. So the sun is who we are in our identity, right? So it's like a reawakening of our feminine identity, our feminine light, goddess light, the access to creation forces. Completely different way of existing in this world. So the destiny is then the heart and the soul, the truth of humanity as Christos, as the body of Christ, as host of the Holy Spirit, physical body, and the human identity as God identity, God consciousness. So this is what jimmies the lock on the new age. This is what allows us to move into the Aquarian age and rewrite the Piscean age with that sextile to Neptune. It's like dream a new dream, break the contracts, say F you authority, let's go. We're taking back the garden by showing and illuminating who we really are, expressing our God self in this world. That's our destiny. Get this. Mars is coming into an opposition. And we had this last time with the odd Mercury, or was it Mercury? Or I can't remember. But anyway, Mars is coming into it was Mercury Saturn. So now Mars in Virgo is coming into an opposition with Neptune, crossing all over this yod. Okay, like that sword of truth. But what's happening is that there's a loose kite forming because Uranus in Taurus is coming to is at 23 degrees this week. And as far as it's going to go before turning retrograde on the 15th. I'm sorry. Um, Uranus, I can't remember when it turns retrograde, but I think on the 29th. But it makes it only to 23 degrees. But 23 degrees is technically 3 degrees from where Neptune is now at 27, moving to 26 degrees. So sextile will be within 3 degrees. And then we also have that sextile with Pluto and Neptune. So these two sextiles form the top of the kite. The axis of the kite is Mars opposite Neptune. So Neptune in Pisces, the tippy top of the kite, guiding the way, pointing the way, reworking, reimagining Piscean age, reworking and reimagining our world with our creative, co-creative faculties in line and online. They've stolen them from us through implants and technologies. You wouldn't believe what they have gone through. Try to keep us from this higher technology right here in our own body. So the kite, what forms a kite, the body of the kite is a grand trine. And so this makes an earth trine. We've got Mars in Virgo, Uranus in Taurus, Pluto in Capricorn. Okay, and it's loose, but it's still there. And it's going to be kind of forming and reforming in different ways over the next months. And so we've got a T square with the nodes of the moon, okay, in cardinal signs. Then we've got the yod with pointing to the sun in Leo, destiny of man to be the God self. And the grand earth trine with a kite shape, because the sextiles up at the top make it into a kite. And the kite is about lift. But they're in earth signs. It's about levitation. It's literally like the capstone of the pyramid, or like flying the pyramid, or removing the mountain that's covering the ancient temples. Ancient Lemuria revealed. So very, very interesting energies here. Speaking to this, we are at the point where the wheel turns and we further the human spiritual evolution. There's no choice. And we're on the front lines of this exciting adventure. It's been a battle up till now. Now we step into the exciting adventure. because it's all that matters and it's who we are. And the light, the heart, we got to learn to give again, which means we've got to get the people around us it's safe to give to. And we got to get in the co-creation, giving process of the creative projects where we give to the universe and the universe gives back to us. And we are moving that energy in the world again, moving the life force through our veins, taking back, cleansing our blood, taking back the clearing and cleaning the defilement to the pristine garden of truth. So this is so incredibly powerful. And then on the top of all that, which is like T square with the nodes, Yod pointing to the sun, um, grand earth trine kite with all of our big planets holding the space. The kite is made out of Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, the biggest, slowest moving energies out there, So they're the backdrop. They're the generational change makers. And speaking to big pieces of time, when they come together in formation, it's like changing of the time, changing of the guard. And that's we, the people, taking back our power and taking back our garden. And so that powerful kite is just like saying, whoa. And then now when you have a kite in your birth chart, what is the energy of it is that you have all these parts of yourself that you've played out. And this is exactly what we're doing, right? In this lifetime, we have to understand that this lifetime is actually culmination of all of our lifetimes in this evolution. And it's like we played this role, this role, this role, this role, and we're putting them back together into one, right? So that's why we're clearing so much karma and sorting out so many timelines, because it's like we've got to come back, it all folds back into the one. And so um, the energy of this is learning and understanding, revealing the disclosure of who we are and who we've been, right? And integrating these pieces. Because people who have kites in their chart, it's not till later in their life typically, well, they'll be able to integrate these different pieces of who they are into that one whole and fly the kite. Now, how does the kite fly? The kite can't fly by itself. It's got to have wind or lift or momentum, you know? And so you want to look at the other transits in the chart that have to do with that kite. In this case, of course, we've got all that other crap going on, right? But the real fulcrum energy, the real prying open the can opener of the can of worms that we've got to clear out, the parasites that have defiled, and the can of worms of lies and gross, disgusting things we've allowed to happen in our garden, have got to be revealed. And the can opener seems to be as this kite takes form. And is that Venus will be an exact square to Jupiter at the time. So Venus transiting back. And Venus Jupiter was the energy of Venus going into retrograde shadow. So Venus square to Jupiter in Taurus, Venus our feminine, the feminine light in Leo, the expression of the creative principle. In square to Jupiter, Jupiter wants to expand, wants to bring more energy, and it's our self-worth, it's embodiment in Taurus, right? So it's like the self-worth to express our true creative potential. And that's right. We're like blowing the lid off this place finally. And just be present in this, be present in this moment to moment right now, winning and owning you're healed. I am sovereign in my autonomous field. I am sovereign. And aligning your energy with that creative principle through these creative actions, through that high vibrational delineation, determination, and devotion to the perfection. So we're talking about illuminating and bringing back the creative forces. We're talking about reactivating the garden, the original innocence, the original truth of this world. And so we can bring our energy alignment back to that. Like, what did the world look like when we were here enjoying and really having a full, enjoying our potential in these lifetimes when we were living in alignment with the goddess? with that creative principle, with that ideal, and that energy ruled the land. And then those of us helped hold and maintain that frequency through our devotional practices. And then, there would be an awareness right away if there was any energy of self-serving or manipulation or stealing or thievery or whatever that would be addressed. And if the leader of that realm, the lord of that land, did not address that issue, then they no longer could serve at the pleasure of the goddess. So this is the energy we're going back to, where we find this authority of the mother within us as the garden, and no wrong, no defilement can happen. And so it's quite a powerful place as we recognize, we realize, and we remember our working connection with our mother goddess. Come back into this uh, garden. This is creating a place for us to land home. Grand Earth Trine, with the tip of the kite being Neptune in Pisces. Okay, so now this is the key thing too, is that with all this going on, every single planet is involved except Saturn. Saturn has made it to 4 degrees Pisces, and 4 is the number of establishing, but Saturn's retrograde, right? So Saturn's going back through. Saturn is the laws and the rules and the book, right? And it's like rewriting the story of the Piscean age, because we can't go forward with this old crap, this old patriarchal bullshit, you know? It's like the end of humanity if we don't switch it up. And so it's really intense because we've got all this astrology going on, and yet what we're really feeling is Saturn retrograde in Pisces, just hanging out 4 degrees, boom, like a stubbornness, right? The old guard that will not go into the new way. And where is that in our field, right? Where one on a cellular level, in a conceptual level, in this programming of shame, where are we not willing to let go of the old guard? Where are we clinging to that external authority to feel safe when we know that there's nothing out there that's going to save us? We are the savior. We are the savior of our world, our life, our cells, our neurons, our frequencies. So, that Saturn is so powerful in, but also showing us and telling us what we're doing. This whole process is about rewriting the story. And that Pluto sextile Neptune saying, ding, 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 magic and miracles, like greater possibilities, higher timelines, it's like, and so we reach above to this and reach above to that reciprocal relationship with creator and ask for what it is you need to support yourselves right now, not what the false authority energy has limited you to up to this point. Claim back your garden right here, right now. It's a new day. And so, thank you so much for being here and listening to these messages and being in this field. And the more you live in this truth, that you're helping supernova souls live their truth too. And so, thank you for being here. And that is a powerful offering. And thank you also for your offering of being a part of the Supernova Soul Tribe for $10 a month. That gets you a Friday video update, lots of resources for supernova souls, monthly Q&As. We got one coming up here soon. And $20 a month gets you into the live activations and the sharing circles. And so thank you for those offerings and considering that. There's also a donation page, a link to a donation page below if you'd like to make an offering that way. But thank you so much for being here, Supernova Soul, going through what you've gone through and not giving up the fight. Now we move out of the fight, that highest level of the video game, the highest level of authority, the last laugh. The last hold, that dental floss holding down your giant, is now being released for you to come into full power of who you really are. And what a glorious day it is here together on this earth with you, supernova souls. I love you so much. I look forward to seeing you soon. Until then, I'm Adrienne Elise. Namaste.